What's going on, everyone? Brendan from Kozo here, and today I'm going to be showing you our new heated steering wheel for side-by-sides and golf carts. So the first step is you want to get the stock steering wheel off, and how we'll do that is we'll pull off the front cover here. Sometimes you just got to get under it with a little flathead screwdriver, and then we'll find the bolt under the steering wheel holding in place. This one is 5/16. You should check your manual to make sure you have the exact size. This one here is 5/16. We'll just get a 5/16 socket and we'll pull this right off. And once it gets loose, you can do it by hand. Once you have that bolt off, just play with it a little bit. You should be able to get your steering wheel right off. So now what you're going to want to do is you take the hub that comes with every kit and the spline provided for your specific model. You're going to enter the spline into the hub. It'll seat just like this. And then you'll have your 4 screws, which are 4mm Allen keys. And you'll just seat the spline in and tighten this up. So since this is going on a 2022 Can-Am Defender, and the hub itself here has a little portion coming off the back for the housing of the wiring, to wire up the heated element, we're gonna have to cut a little hole here in the steering column. So it's just in plastic, it won't be a big deal. So once you get your steering wheel off, what you're gonna do is remove the housing along the steering shaft. You got 4 Torx screws in the bottom here that you're just gonna pull out. These should be, I think, T20s on this one, on this Defender, but they might be different on your specific model. So once you get all 4 of those out, the top housing will come off, and now we'll be ready to work. So now that you have your housing back on and your hub's installed, and when you're installing the hub, you wanna make sure that on the left side here, you have this little notch, because that's where you're gonna run the wire to the button on the actual steering wheel itself. So we're gonna put our nut back on, and this, you wanna make sure you have it to your OEM torque, the same as what it would have been when you removed it. So you'll find that in your specifications somewhere in your manual, your owner's manual. So yeah, get that back on the torque, and then time to put the steering wheel on. So now that everything is back and installed how it should be, it's time to install the steering wheel. So you take the plug, you'll plug these 2 together, they're mating connectors, so that'll be pretty straightforward. And then you want to take the gasket and twirl this wire up, get it nice and snug in there, and get the wire into the slot, and now you can place your gasket. Once your gasket is seated nice over the holes, you can put the steering wheel over top, and then we're going to get these 5 screws installed. So once everything is seated, you just want to grab the 5 bolts that obviously came with the steering wheel and seat them in there. Once you get your gasket all seated nice, and what you're going to do is you're just going to tighten these in. I'm just going to add them all in and then tighten them all at the end, just so that gasket doesn't move and so that the steering wheel is seated correctly. So now that you got all your screws released inside the steering wheel, you can take your cover and just slot that in, and that'll cover up all the screws, and then it'll seat nicely in there. So now the last step is going to be wiring it up so that it works. So once you got your steering wheel installed, it's time to get your power connected. Here on this Can-Am Defender, I'm just going to pull off the dash, and we have our accessory port here, so it's a switch 12-volt source, and our ground right over here, which makes it really easy for us. We'll get this installed and we'll be right back with you. So once you got your heated steering wheel installed and you have your power running and everything's connected, as you can see right now, we're pressing the button. Because we put it on a switch 12-volt source, the power does not come on, which is very, very important, because you don't want to forget it on, because it will drain the battery. We'll just put the switch to on so we can see it running here. It'll go through its startup procedure and then press the button, and now it's on level 5. It has 5 levels on this steering wheel. So you can 5, that's 4, 3, 2, 1, all indicated by a little red LED on the steering wheel itself. The button, very convenient, it's in a good location, and as you can see, it looks great. Well, that'll conclude today's video on our new heated steering wheel. I'll see you guys in the next one.